Welcome to my 2024 brush collection Esum brush video. We're going to reapply Tillamook. I just did my Sephora brush collection video and I did this base face very simple because I don't have a lot of Sephora brushes, like surprisingly, right? I got a bunch of other stuff and you're going to see what I mean by a bunch of stuff. So if this is your first time here, hello and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the Crazy Troll Nation, and among other things, I'm a brush hoe. Yes. Yeah. And I have proof. I'm going to show you right now. If you're a brush lover, if you're curious about Esum brushes, particularly their eyeshadow brushes, I got you. So we're just actually going to just jump in. I'm not going to do the intro, but I am going to let you know I do curse sometimes in videos because I curse sometimes, period. And there's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches, and I do always say, excuse me, whether I think you heard it or not. So those are the main things about me personally, not so much about the Crazy Troll Nation. But we're going to start with, y'all, when I like a brush, I get more than one. If you've been here, you already know. But I do only have two of the number V09 brushes. These are all their vegan brushes. Well, I shouldn't say, yeah, synthetic brushes, because my face and my eyelids do not like natural hair brushes. And so these, I have found I love this for putting like a paint pot or a gel liner in my brows, because it's the perfect width. It just fits right there. And then when I get to where there's no tail, I just turn it on the side and come down because it's pointed. But you can also use this for eyeliner, for your upper lash line, for graphic liner, if you want to just draw things on your face. You can use it for shadow for lower lash line and for gel liners as well. But for me, the gel liners that I have, they're matte, and when they dry, it dries and it becomes uncomfortable. So I don't put gel liner under here, but you could use this for that if you're not sensitive the way I am. And for powder shadow, and of course do your wings. You can use this for carving out your brows if that's something you do, like with concealer, if you want to carve out your brows. And you can use this for your lip line as a lip pencil if you want to just sharpen that up or straighten that up. I feel like I said straighten that up funny, but that's the different uses for these brushes. But for me, I do just usually use them for putting color in my brows, because brushes like this shape is hard for me to get in my inner corner when I'm doing my upper lash line, because I can see this side, but for here, because the way my hand is, it's hard for me to see in here to get to the inner corner. But I have used it for if I just wanted to draw a wing, if I'm doing graphic liner. I have used it for putting like a line of liner underneath my brow just to add a little something to the look. And I have actually used it to clean up my lip line, not so much as to create one. But if my liquid lipstick just was out of control, I would use this to just like kind of clean it up. But this is a very handy brush. Esum is expensive. I do have a Shop My link for Esum down below. So I would suggest that if you're wanting Esum brushes, to wait until there's a sale. Whatever this website sale is having, using my link to get to that website, you still will have access to that sale. And of course, Esum does sell other stuff as well. I wasn't really a fan of their face brushes. They were very soft, which is important to me because I have sensitive skin. But just the shape or the density, it wasn't quite what I was looking for. And I had other brushes that I preferred. And so I don't have any Esum face brushes, but you will see, excuse me, I have a lot of the eye brushes. And so this is this one, the V09, and I always have to look at it because you can see here where, maybe not so because of the light, but how it's a little bit white right here. That's the letter and the number. So it is difficult to see. It's in white. It's difficult to see against the silver. So I'm always like, okay, which one is it? But V09 is this one. I have three. Whew, child. I have three V31, and these I use mostly for if I have my shadow on and the upper line looks harsh. I will usually just use this just to go back and forth or circular motions just to blend out that top line. That's what I've used this for. I have also used it for my brows. It's a little tricky over here because this brush is thicker than the previous one I just showed you, but this is good for that. You can use it for, and I have used it for placing shadow on my lower lash line. And because this is sort of a thicker brush, I love that it's tapered, but because it is a thicker brush, it'll place and blow out more so than this one because it's thinner. And so I do like this for that, but I do mostly use it for just blending out the top edge of my eyeshadows, and for also doing an outer V, because it is sort of small and because it's tapered. You can do the outer V really easily with this brush. Or if you put down a gel liner and you want to wing it out, this will help you wing it out. So this is a very, I really like this brush. I do. That's why I have 3 of them. The next brush I'm going to show you, these are, I have 3 of these. Y'all see the thing with the numbers. Like I don't know. But then I only have like 2 of these. But I have a funny story coming up about another one of their brushes. This is the V33, and V does stand for vegan. This one, I don't know if you can see it, probably not, but there's, if you look close, there's like a couple hairs just hanging over here. See that? And I don't know why. Maybe the way it was stored or it was rubbing against something, but I have 3 of these. What I like these for are when I'm doing outer corner color, because I can just put this here and just place it and just feather it in. I can place transition shade. I can do that with this. I can feather out eyeliner when I'm winging my eyeliner. And if I wanted to, I could just buff underneath to further blow out lower lash line. But what I mostly use it for is just transition work, which is, well, for me, I call this my transition area, placing color here, and also for my outer V, and just feathering it inward and then feathering out shadow. So that's mostly what I use this brush for. Use brushes in whatever way you love. These, y'all. Okay. When I say when I like a brush, I get more. This is the V27. These are all my V27s. So how many do we have? We have 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 9 of these. I don't know how that happened. It had to have been a sale or something. There's a few that are stained, and so depending on what shadow I'm using, if I'm using a dark shadow, I'll use this one because it's already stained. And there's a few, I've had these a long time, and this one is a little bit stained too. These are not stained. So I'm going to put those down. So yeah, we have 9 of these. I love these for Pat McGrath's Celestial Shades. I don't like to use my fingers for makeup. If there's a shadow that's hard to pick up with a regular brush or a fluffy brush, this is what I go to. This is the brush I go to because it picks up, and for inner corner, I can just press it, pow, it's right there. And you may have seen me use this in videos if you've seen some of my tutorials. Just press it and it's just there, and then just press, kind of press and swipe, but not like a swipe, so sort of just like a press and pull. And that's how I'll lay down like a shimmery shade, particularly one that's prone to fall out or one that's flaky. I'll press and just pull, place more on the brush, press and pull. And because it is not a wide brush, it will take a time if I'm doing like half of my lid. But because of the outcome, I don't mind. So I just do press and pull. I don't swipe. I don't, blend. I just press and pull, and it works really well for that. And I think this is the only purpose that I use this brush for. You could use it for doing under your brows. If you want to just put an eyeshadow color up here, it will work for that. If you want to pull out your eyeliner to blend that out, you can do that. Or pull out, your eyeshadow, you can do that. This is also good for an outer V because you can turn it sideways, come down in the V shape, and then turn it this way and come in, and you have your V shape. And it is a little different than the other brush I showed you because you do have to change the angle of the brush because of the shape of the brush. But if you look at it, you can just do your V shape right there. And also, you can use it if you want to cut crease. If you want to do a cut crease or a faux cut crease, you can just lay this down and just run that line straight there. And the line is there without you having to do like extra work or extra adhesives. And then just go through and just kind of just blend it a little bit. Just kind of feather it and blend it. And I do apologize that I'm not actually doing the things, but I still hope that this is helpful for you to see what you can do with a brush that's shaped like this one. And if I do want to amp up a shimmer metallic Pat McGrath Celestial Shades, that's when I'll pull out one of my sponge tip applicators. So size-wise, it is about the same. Am I lining this up right? Yeah, it's a little bit smaller in size than the Esum brush, but the concept is the same. It is sponge where this one is not, but because this one is very dense, it does hold the shadow enough for you to pat, well, for me, to press and just pull over. This works extremely well for me for flaky shades, Pat McGrath Celestial shades, Notoriously Morbid, some of their flaky shades. And when I say flaky, they're creamy at the same time. And also Selwyn Cosmetics has a few shadow formulas that they look like they would be flaky. It's hard to pick up with a fluffy brush, so I have to maneuver in and out of the palette. But once I get it on here, it just goes on so perfect and so smooth. I really love this brush. I got 9 of them. That says a lot. It had to have been a sale. And no, I didn't buy all of these at one time. When I get brushes, if I think I'm going to like it, I'll go ahead and get 2. If I'm not sure, I'll get 1. And if I really like it, then I'll wait for a sale and then I buy more. So the next brush we're going to talk about, I feel like, oh, you know, I think I gave 2 of the other ones away. I did. Not this one I'm going to show you. I have 3, so we're back to number 3. This is the T37 brushes. I like these because of the angle. So you see how you have that pointy tip. What I love this brush for, and I completely forgot when I did my Scott Barnes video. So I'm going to backtrack. I'm going to pull out these ones from Scott Barnes that I forgot to talk about when I did my Scott Barnes brush collection video. And I'm like, how did I forget that? But for this video, I did actually pull out each container because, like, this is my blending brushes. I pulled this out, took out all the Esums. I have one for eyeliner brushes, took that out, and I have one for packer brushes. And so, because I didn't want to forget, leave no brush behind, you know. So this one I really like because of the shape of it. If I'm doing a halo look, spotlight eye, cat eye, excuse me, halo spotlight, cat eye look. This is great for me because that pointy side down, it gets right in the corner. It gets right here in the corner, and then I can just place the shadow and just pull it over a little bit. And then I can turn it the other way, pointy side down, get right here. Place it and just pull it in. So I do like the shape of this brush. I'm lying. I love the shape of this brush for doing innermost corner and outermost corner work. And this is also good for, even for lower lash line, because it's slanted like that, that tilt, you can just use the tip of it and just run shadow under your lower lash line. But I do really enjoy this brush, and I have used it for packing shadow on the lid because of the shape of it. And then you can just do this, and the tip of it, because it's not as firm as this part, it will blend your shadow really nicely in into your crease area. And so I don't use it often for this, but it does really work well for that. And so I do really enjoy this brush. The other one I'm going to show you, the last ones I'm going to show you, this is the T03. I had, I think, I want to say 7 of them. I purchased 1. I liked it. There was a sale. I think I purchased like 3 more. And out of the 3, like, they were all different. Like, even if you look at them, and I did a video, you see the sizes are different, the lengths are different, and like this one is the thinnest. So I do think this is the first one I purchased because I remember I loved it so much because it was thin and it was pointy. I purchased more. But if you look at this one and this one, they're taller. This one is, you know, shorter, but it's a little more fluffy. So I was just like, these brushes are not the one. And I always remember this is the first one I got because I'm like, the shape is just perfect. And so I left a review on the Esum website, and all of a sudden I feel like I just got really dark. Like my lighting just got super dark. I don't know why that does that. I have it's something in my settings, because sometimes when I put stuff close, it auto focuses, but then when I come back, it doesn't readjust to the likeness that it was when the video started. So I do apologize for that, and I promise you I'm trying to figure that out because it's annoying me that it just does that. And so I left a review on their website saying, you know, I got these brushes, and I think I had ordered like 2. And I'm like, they're all different shapes and sizes and blah, blah, blah. And so they emailed me and they said, well, can we send you 2 more brushes? And I'm thinking, I already have like 3. I just bought 2 more. I'm like, I have 5 now. I don't need 2 more. But I said, yeah, okay. So they did send me 2 more brushes. And you know what? Even though they were not like this one, they were the same size and shape. So I think someone in the factory was like, okay, let's make sure we send her 2 that look exactly the same. Like how these two look exactly the same. And so it was just really funny to me because I'm like, they had to have been like really looking like, let's make sure we send her 2 of the same size brushes. And so I did give 2 away because I'm like, I don't need, as if I need 9 of these, right? I'm like, I don't need like 7 or 8 of these because I only use these for. Yeah, that story is just hilarious to me. What I use this brush for, well, the first one that I purchased, I'm trying to find it, and it'll be easy because it's the perfect shape and size. The first one I purchased, I loved it because it's long, and I can get gel liner in here, and if I'm careful to use just the tip of it, I can get a thin line when I put gel liner on my upper lash line, and then it's easy too to just draw a wing, pull it out, bring it back. And so I really like this brush for that. And so that's really all I used to use it for, was just gel liner on my upper lash line, place it down, run a line, do a wing, bring it back in. But I have since also used it for if I want to draw a line with gel liner under my brows, because of the size of it and because it's tapered and it's thin. Not as thin as this one, the first one I showed you, but thin enough that if I just use the tip of it, I can run a line right under my brows. And I do like that look. So this is a brush that I'll use for upper lash line work and if I'm doing graphic lines on my face. And I think in my Pride look, I used this brush, if I'm not mistaken, to draw flowers on my face. And then I did the stem. Excuse me. So this is great. It's an eyeliner brush. So you can use it for upper lash line, running a line under your brow, doing graphic eyeliner looks. This is a really nice brush. So that is it for the Esum brushes. And so I'm going to backtrack to Scott Barnes from the other day. So I have to make sure I post this one after that one. I have 5 of his, I made another purchase. I don't know what exactly I was going through, but I purchased some more brushes. And I'm just like, I was dealing with anxiety and I don't know why. And so my response was, even out your number of brushes. Because I was like, why do I have 5 of these? And so I ordered the sixth one and I ordered other stuff. But anyway, yes, my coping mechanisms aren't always the best. But what I can say is my beauty budget is still intact and there's still money in there. So I'm not at all like going broke with my beauty budget. But these are the Scott Barnes number 63 brushes. And I think it's called Eye Fan Brush. Don't quote me on that because I didn't bring the paper. So I'm going to put 4 down. What I love this brush for is the same reason that I love this brush for, this angled one. This one makes it so friggin' easy for me, the shape of it. Innermost corner, and just slide to the left. Innermost corner, slide to the left. Outer corner, place it down, pull it over. Pointy side down, place the shadow, turn it over. I can also use it if I want to do transition shade. I don't prefer it for that, but let me show you something else that I really, really, really fell in love with this brush for. This brush does the work for you. And I have a video showing it, and I haven't done it lately, like intentionally to show you. But placing outer corner color, pointy side down, right? Look at this. Turn your wrist, and there you go into your transition area. This brush makes it so easy. Just turn it. You see, so it's not like, something like this where you have to, okay, do this, put your outer corner color, then come up here and then go over. You don't have to do that well, for me, I don't have to do that with this brush. I lay the color down, turn my hand, and it just goes right there. This is so friggin' easy. Like, look at this. You just place it. You don't have to, maneuver the brush. Let me show you that again. You don't have to, okay, put this here and then come over here and you're doing all this feathering. This one, for me, pointy side down, get that color right there and just turn it. Let it do its thing. Lay it down. Look how easy that is. I love this brush for that because it just makes it super easy to get the shadow on. I have done lower lash line because when I got this brush, well, all of my brushes, I'm like, let me see how many uses I can get out of it. Like, what all can I do with this brush? And so I have used this for lower lash line, and it works because it's pointed. So pointy side in to get in here and bring it out, pointy side out, bring it in. You see what I'm saying? And so I love the shape of brushes like this for that reason. And so, but I mostly use it for halo eyes, innermost, outermost corners, and outer corner, and just bring it over into the transition area. But this right here was a game changer for me, because all I gotta do is just turn my hand and it just goes. It just goes. And so on that note, we're going to switch to, that wasn't supposed to be there. We're going to switch to Makeup Forever, because I only have 4 Makeup Forever brushes. And so we're going to throw that in with this video. And where's the other one that is hiding? Here it is. I only have 4 Makeup Forever brushes for no particular reason. I think it might have been a sale or something, I don't know. I have a two 210 brushes. These are just smudger brushes. And I use these, I don't use them often for no particular reason. Y'all see how many brushes I got, okay. But I'm gonna make it a point to use these. These are good for placing shadow, lower lash line, because they're small. And it does actually say, oh, it says wavy. That was the line. They had a straight and wavy line of brushes. And so, but I just call it a smudge brush. Made in some country I can't pronounce. So this is good for placing shadow on lower lash line. And because it is a typical eyeliner smudger shape, if you put like gel liner on your upper lash line, this is good for smudging it out, because it is very dense. It's very dense, and so it's going to move the liner without taking it off of your face. So this is really good for that. You can use it for, I may have used it to put color in my brows, because this is a good shape for that, because it is thin and it does fit right in my entire brow area. But yeah, but mostly I use it for placing shadow. You know what I use it for? I'm just kind of, I don't know what's going on. What I normally use this for is if I have a flaky or a creamy metallic or shimmer, I use this to place that lower lash line. And so instead of swiping, I will, make sure I get the product on the brush, and I'll just wiggle it. And I'll move the brush, wiggle it, move the brush, wiggle it, move the brush, wiggle it. Because for some shadows, if they are flaky, if I do this, some pieces might puff up into my eye. And so if it's one of those shades that's creamy and or flaky and creamy or flaky at the same time, I will take this and just press, move the brush and press, move the brush and press. And it stays exactly where I put it. That's what I usually use this brush for. But also for powder shadow, you can, that one I will just swipe, because the pieces won't flake up. It might puff up into my eye, but it's not going to flake up into my eye and make my eyes tear and be itchy and all of that stuff. But that's what I use this one for. The other 2 I have from the same line, these are number 234 brushes. The same shape as this one from Esum. These are, I don't use these often. It's just something with the feel of it. Like and I don't know, let me put one down since I'm showing you 2. I don't know, and this is very soft too. Like you see, this has a lot of flex to it. And I think it has to do with the shadow I'm dealing with. If I'm dealing with a somewhat very saturated shadow, but it doesn't require a lot of attention, I'll use this one. If it's a powdery shadow, that's when I'll use this one, because this is a little more stiff, maybe because it's longer than the Esum one, I'm not sure. But this is great for very saturated shadow, because it holds it, again, pointy side down, and just press, press, press. And if I'm doing a halo eye, pointy side down, press, press, and it just goes perfect. Whereas this is better for something that's a little more, I don't want to say dense, but a shadow that's not super powdery. But if it's something really powdery, this one comes in handy. Pointy side down, press, press, pointy side down, press, press. And you can also tap across the lid and go back and forth. And the same with the Esum one, because you have this tip right here, it will blend into your crease. So you can tap on your lid and then go back and forth, and it's going to blend it a little bit into your crease. You can use the point for lower lash line, which I did try it, but I didn't prefer it for that. So I mostly use this if it's a very powdery shadow, and I'll just place, and it picks up and places really well. And sometimes I do just use the tip of it to blend across here. And sometimes though, I do have a problem getting close to my lash line down here. And so for that, I'll take the pointy side, swipe it in the shadow, and I'll just use the pointy side and place it down here. So it's not an issue, it is not a problem. And so that's all the brushes for today. I'm only gonna hold up one of each brand. So we talked about all of my Esum brushes and why I don't have their face brushes. And then we backtracked to Scott that I forgot to talk about in my Scott Barnes brush collection video, and my 2 different Makeup Forever brushes. So that is that for this video. Do let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any of these brushes, if you were curious about any of these brushes, the Esum ones still are for sale, and I do recommend you wait for a sale. I do have a Shop My link for that. I don't have a link or anything for Scott Barnes, but sometimes, excuse me, sometimes there is a 30% off code or a 20% off code. That's when I recommend you get Scott's brushes. The price is comparable. They might be, you know, $24, $28, whatever, but still, if you're going to get more than one, you know, wait for a sale or just find a coupon code. The Makeup Forever one, I don't know if these are still available. This was the straight and wavy line, which I don't know why they called it straight and wavy, but and this one actually says straight and wavy on it, where the smudgy ones just say wavy. So I don't understand why they're called that, but I don't know if these are still available. I want to say yes, because I remember when I was doing my Deals or Stills videos, there were some brushes that had the wooden handle. These are different colors. I just noticed that looking where you are, that even though these two are the same, this one looks more brown and this is like a coffee brown. Y'all, I be noticing stuff like, what? Yeah, you see these two on the end? They're like different colors. But anyway, so I do think these are available, but I do think you would have to go through the Makeup Forever website. I purchased these from Sephora way back. Like, these brushes are old, but they look... Take care of your brushes though. They will last you for a long time, especially if they're good quality brushes, which all of mine are. So we're going to go, and what else do I need? Oh, my hourglass brushes. I'm going to do that video next, not in this clip. And that'll be... And then I'll do hodgepodge brushes. And that'll be it for our 2024 brush collection. Oh, I need to do my Fenty ones too. But y'all seen me use the Fenty brushes a lot. But for the sake of 2024 brush collection videos, we're going to redo that one. So every year, we're just going to update and renew and refresh. So thank you for being here. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if you have any of these brushes. Let me know if seeing the different shapes and the different uses that I use them for, if that gave you some ideas of how to use the brushes that you have. Because it's not about the brush, it's about finding the shape and the style of brush that you like, and the density or how soft it is, or you know how it performs, if you want it for powder products or liquid products or cream products, because all of that makes a difference in what tool you use. And so yes, let me know that below. And I did not do the intro, but as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. There will be some stuff popping up here. I will put my 2024 brush collection video up top, the playlist, and down below I'll just put something that, you know, I think might be nice for you to watch. And so if you can hang out, click on something, and just, you know, continue enjoying my videos. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. There is a button to join if you're interested in that. And share. If you know someone, you know, looking for brushes or curious about brushes or just like talking about makeup brushes, I got you. Share my videos with them for that and for other reasons, the other videos I have. And I know I'm not making sense, so I'm going to go. But thank you for being here, and you will see me very soon. Thanks.